Okay, so today is going to be a fun show. I want to give you a little glance, a little snippet of what you will be learning at the Answers for Cancer Summit this weekend. Starts tomorrow, May 18th and 19th for the general public. And so today we're going to be talking to Miriam Kalamian. Did I say that right, Miriam?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Iris Gillon. Did I say that right, Iris?
Yes.
Awesome. And I can barely hear you, so you may need to get a little closer or put your mic a little closer. Okay? So it's time to dance. We're gonna make this happen and we're gonna make this good. Ready? Let's see you dance. Can you hear the music? There you go. I like the head.
I'll be right here waiting for you.
Okay.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com.
It'll all be good.
Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. For those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show, the purpose of the show is to provide a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my purpose and my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my viewing as well as listening friends, will feel empowered to learn a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, today, you're going to want to put my number in your phone because this is the day that we're going to be giving tickets, more tickets for Answers for Cancer Summit. There is a summit going on out there in Orlando, the Rosen Centre, and it's tomorrow, Friday, the 18th, and the 19th, Saturday. And we're offering 2-day tickets for 2 people for the conference. So last time Annie Brandt was on, we gave 2 tickets away, and actually, it's really 4. For whoever calls, we'll get 2 tickets each person. So we're giving 4 tickets to 2 people. Does that make sense? Now, today, I just want to give you an idea. So the number is 407-373-5959. That's 407-373-5959. We're going to do the 5th caller and the 7th caller or texter. So it's the 5th or 7th caller or texter. Let me tell you a little bit about Annie Brandt. She is the founder or co-founder of Best Answer for Cancer Foundation. And she is running around right now like a chicken without a head, but she is making sure everything is going smoothly at the conference for the doctors, that they get the CEUs, and the summit for the general public. Now, the doctors began the process and learning. They've been learning about this, and we need to find out who these doctors are so that you, my listening friends, my viewers, will embrace them. These are doctors that are going beyond what they were taught and learning a new truth so they can really take care of you. And so now we have 2 people. We're going to have 2 people join us because the concept of this is about cancer, cannabis, and keto. So we're going to take one aspect of the conference and we're going to focus on that, which is the keto portion of it today. But I want to encourage you to be the 5th or 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959, because I want you to take your life back, to take your health back, and do everything you possibly can that you can live the life of your dreams. And you can start by calling 407-373-5959. Instead, it's a sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge. I am grateful that we have 2 beautiful women here to do just that, Miriam Kalamian and Iris Gillon. So thank you so much, both of you, for joining us and just being here to give love and knowledge. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, that was Miriam. And say hello, Iris.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, yes.
From the convention center.
That's right. That's right. They are at the convention center right now at the Rosen Centre in Orlando. And tomorrow, May 18th, and Saturday, May 19th, from 9 to 6, you will be able to see these beautiful women. We're going to start with Miriam. Miriam, share a little bit about yourself and what you are doing at this conference.
Well, I am a specialist in implementing the ketogenic diet for cancer. There's there's a lot of buzz online and in other forums on the ketogenic diet, but so little of it is specific to cancer. And I came to this from a very personal place. My son, we learned he had cancer. He was just 4 years old. He had brain cancer, and we went through a couple of years of failed therapies, basically, before we heard about this diet. And we started it with him. And it was just an incredible turnaround. We had hoped for any kind of response, and we got just an amazing response to just this diet alone after the failed therapies. I have to say, Keto for Cancer is an addition to, it's not in place of a therapy.
Very good. I like that. And I read the story of your son, and I want to start by saying, I can't imagine what you went through. We want to protect our children, and the fact that you did, you followed what the doctors told you to do, and that failed. At what point do you say, I've had enough, I've got to do this on my own? What gave you the courage?
What gave me the courage to do it was that they were moving him to palliative care, which basically meant they no longer expected any kind of response to the treatment that they were doing. And I was online just desperate to find something that would be meaningful, something that would help protect him. And by accident, I wasn't looking for a diet. I was just looking at drugs. And there was the diet, and it had been used for children.
And we're going to continue this conversation, 407-373-5959. And we're going to continue our conversation worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. You know, I read your story. We're off the air now, Miriam. I read your story, and I was so touched by the fact that you became your son's MD. You became his medical detective. And that's so admirable. And so they were at 4, they were just gonna.
No, at 4, we learned that he had the cancer at 4. We did, 14 months of chemo. And then 3 months later, we found out the tumor was still growing. We did we did surgeries. All this stuff just didn't pan out for him. And they were moving him to palliative care, and that's when we found the diet. So
so that was after 14 months.
He was 7. He was 7 when we started the diet, and we were able to kick the can down the road for 6 years with good quality. So, I'm sorry. It's terrible. It's tragic that we lost him, but we would have lost him a lot sooner in a lot more brutal way if we hadn't had the diet.
Isn't gratitude such a beautiful gift?
Yes, and he was one of the most grateful little people on the face of the earth. He would be grateful for a nice day, for a roof over his head, for food on the table. He was adopted, and he was adopted at 2. So, even though technically he shouldn't have had a lot of memory about it, he did. And to see that kind of gratitude coming from a little child like that. And as things started to slip away for him, he just turned into a little fountain of love. So I was drinking from his little fountain of love. I really was. And so were the other people in our community. We have an amazing community. And like I said, it's just a terribly tragic thing that we lost him. But, what a gift to the world my son was. Yeah.
He still is.
Yeah,
still is because, and I know we're about to go back. I think we're about to go back, and I'll say this on the air. It's a shame sometimes we say things off the air that we don't say on the air. But when I read the story of your son, I mean, as a mother reading this, I'm just so in awe of you, Miriam.
No, be in awe of him.
No, I know. But for you to be able to continue the baton that he handed to you.
That's a good way to put it. I love that.
Okay. That's what I mean. I'm so in awe of
You
you.
can text Lillian McDermott
Well done.
or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow with one another. Today's teachers are Miriam Kalamian and Iris Gillon. And today, right now, we're talking to Miriam, who has just grabbed me just by saying hello. Her story is one of many people who share this story, a life lost too soon to cancer. Her son, she describes him as a fountain of love. And I want you to share about the tragedy, Miriam, but before we talk about your son, I want to share with you that we are giving tickets to this summit. We're giving 2 people 2 tickets. So that's 4 tickets for 2 days. Make sure that you can go to the summit on Friday and Saturday. You're going to learn and grow so much. This is a classroom, a setting so that you can take your health back. It's from 9 to 6 on Friday and Saturday at the Rosen Centre in Orlando. And this is a $358 value, and it is free to you. Be the 5th and 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. So, Miriam, of course, you went through a lot with your son.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw that you followed what the protocol was. And there comes a time where you as a mother say, I've had enough. I've got to follow my intuition. And then you stumbled upon keto, right? And
I literally did. I mean, it wasn't like I decided to leave the standard care. The standard care left us. And I didn't know at the time that there was anything else that we could do. But I was looking online for, actually I was looking at a drug that he was being given because it was highly toxic. And I was thinking, can we cut that one out and, preserve some quality of life here? And I hadn't given up on my son. I just didn't know what else to do. And there was this diet, and this diet had been used. It was a study out of Boston College. Dr. Thomas Seyfried, caloric restriction in a mouse model of an aggressive cancer. And so, yeah, we're not supposed to really tune into mice, because mice aren't people. But when you're at the point that I was, it had some validity. It had a background in children. The reference was 2 children with aggressive brain cancer, similar to my son. And in just 8 weeks, the diet had slowed down the glucose uptake to the tumors. And wow, I didn't even know about glucose uptake to the tumor. So I read this all with fascination and decided, what have we got to lose? What did we have to lose? Absolutely nothing. So,
because they had already given up on him.
Yes, and the diet had some real clear, it was a clear protocol because it was used for children with epilepsy. So we just decided we'd follow the diet for epilepsy. We got the support of our local oncologist and the pediatrician where they'd monitor him. I was terrified to do this. I really was. There was no support for this. Mm-hmm. So, following that protocol and just in 3 months, time to see the tumor stop growing and actually retreat from the margins. Nothing had done that. So at that point, nothing had done that. So of course we were going to continue with the diet. And of course I have to be an advocate for it. So I had to learn as much as I could in as short a period of time as I could. I went back and I got a graduate degree.
Yes. Yeah, so I want to talk about your background too, because did your son, was he the teacher that allowed you to move towards nutrition as your passion?
Oh, gosh. At one point, my son told me, now this is a little guy, just a little guy. He said, that's what I'm here for, Mom, to teach you. So pretty profound statement coming from a child. But it was, moms, their job is to protect their children, first and foremost. And this was the only way that I could see of protecting him, giving him some more time. And it did. We were able to kick the can down the road for 6 years, good quality of life for most of that time. And that's not what would have happened if they had started that palliative chemotherapy that they were planning on doing. It would have been hospitalizations and transfusions and infections. We would have been tied to the hospital. Instead, we did things like we went to Mexico, and not for treatment. We went there for 5 months of hanging out in the Baja. So what more could I ask for with a son with a terminal diagnosis like that?
And you said that that he embraced this and he became a fountain of love. That's what you said off the air.
Yes.
And I had mentioned to you that when I read your bio and I read about your son, I became in awe of you. And you said, "Don't be in awe of me."
No,
What did you say?
Yeah, it's not in awe of me, but what you said about him handing me the baton, that makes sense. That's what he did. His, his willingness to engage in this whole thing and be a part of this, not just, going along with the program. There was one point we were at a restaurant where we were traveling somewhere, and he looked at the options and he goes, "This is crap. This is coming from a 10-year-old who used to live on mac and cheese." And he's looking at this and going, "This is crap." And I thought, wow, he's learned a lot in just a couple of years. And, this is something that we need to share with so many other people.
So let's talk about that. And I don't know if I shared this with you, I don't think I have, but I interviewed Dr. Thomas Seyfried in 2015. So when I saw that he was like your mentor, that you learned from I was like, how excited. In 2015, I was with him. So share a little bit about the keto diet and what it entails.
Yeah. I have a book, Keto for Cancer, and Dr. Seyfried wrote the foreword to that book. And even this morning in my emails, I have emails from him. We're in tight communication. We just, we have a new paper out on glioblastoma and a case study out of Egypt. And yes, people can survive for a lot longer, even with the very poor prognosis of brain cancer. But it's not just brain cancer. We can generalize this to so many other cancers. Mm-hmm. So what I do is educate and inform. What people choose to do with this is up to them. But there's so much misinformation on the internet about keto in general, and there's so little information about keto for cancer because there are nuances. And that's what I tried to do with my book, was put as many of those nuances in there so people could understand what the differences are when they're trying to do this. And because there isn't the support system out there yet. It's coming. Sure. We're working on it. This conference, I'm actually meeting with a few of my colleagues. We're working on a project together where we can build a virtual support network for people that includes not just the understanding of the underlying mechanism of the diet, but also how to implement it properly and how to track it over time, and coaching and all too.
So are you saying all cancers or brain cancers are?
No, I'm saying this can be generalized to any cancer that displays what's called the Warburg effect. And that is, it's using glucose at a faster rate than a normal cell will. Okay. So if you can lower that supply, you are reducing the acidity that drives cancer. It's one of the things that drives cancer.
Let's talk about what keto is. So is there certain foods that promote keto? What puts you in keto? Is it ketosis? Is that what happens?
Yes. So it's more about what foods to eliminate than it is about what foods that you can have. So, I have a food list, and that is if you just choose the foods from this list, and you keep the carbohydrates to 20 to 25 grams a day, you will be in ketosis. It will happen. It's cutting the carbs that does it. And ensuring that you have enough good quality protein is important, but you don't want an excess. That's not helpful in cancer. And then there's this misconception that you need to stuff yourself full of fat. And you really don't. If you're underweight, you need to add a lot of extra fat in order to keep your weight on, because ketogenic is very effective for weight loss. Mm-hmm. But if you're normal weight or overweight, then you can make great ketones just from your body fat. You don't need to stuff yourself full of fat. So, that's one of the things I come up against a lot, is just the misconceptions of how to do this, what the goals should be.
So quickly, give me some idea, because I was doing some research about the ketone diet, and this focuses on epilepsy, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and of course weight loss. But I've had many doctors come on the show and say, weight loss for a little bit. You don't want to keep your body in there, but if your body is in a disease state, perhaps it's better. Is that a wise statement?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. But you can change it up over time. The diet that you start with to get into ketosis doesn't necessarily have to be your lifelong diet. I'm in ketosis, and I do it for healthy aging. I do it for the protection. Ketones are very protective of neurons. That's where it started with the epilepsy. So it protects neurons, and the ketones themselves actually are a perfect fuel for the brain, a much more efficient fuel for the brain as we get older. So, I'm interested in keeping everything I got right up to the time that I, just drop off that cliff. I don't want to lose pieces along the way. So I do it for a different reason than what we put our son on it for. That was to deal with a cancer diagnosis. But I find that people, if they're willing to be sort of introspective and to do some testing of their blood glucose and ketones, they can move from the most rigorous form of it into a more liberal form of it and just stay on the edge of ketosis. There's no harm in doing that. There's nobody that's been able to offer any evidence that there's harm to staying on the threshold of ketosis.
Okay, so what are some of the foods? Because for those of you who would like to be a part of this conference, Miriam, when are you speaking?
I speak today to the practitioners at 1:45, and tomorrow I speak at 5:30 to the public.
5:30 to the public on Friday, and then Saturday. Do you speak on Saturday?
I'm not speaking on Saturday.
Okay,
No.
so every one of us who's going to be going to this conference will have an opportunity to meet Miriam, as well as Iris in a little bit. We're going to have Iris join us. Okay, so give us a quick, clean 15, dirty dozen type of overview of foods to eat and foods to avoid.
Okay, you
Real
avoid
quick, you got 2
sugars.
minutes.
Okay, sugars and grains are out of it. The really carbohydrate-dense foods like potatoes, they're out of it. Legumes are out of it. Fruit, be careful with, small portions, mostly berries. And so that's the carbohydrate part of it, and people catch on to that. I have a food list. These are the foods you can use. And protein foods, I really like it if people are using animal protein, but we can do it with more of a plant-based approach. And then the healthy fats. And I explain all this in my book. I have some of this information on my website as well. And, I'm here to talk about simple keto. So if people want to hear simple keto, that's at 5:30 tomorrow.
Okay. And so the website is dietarytherapies.com. That's Dietary Therapies. And so this conference, Answers for Cancer Summit, is the 10th annual. Annie Brandt is the co-founder of Best Answer for Cancer. And they have a summit this weekend, or starting on Friday, May 18th, and Saturday. We are giving away to 2 people 2 tickets for the weekend summit. And that's the 5th and 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. If you want to get healthy, this is the way to do it. Thank you so much, Miriam, for your information. And we're going to continue our conversation with Miriam, and we're going to add Iris when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, come out, Iris, wherever you are.
So should I mute this?
Well, it all depends if you want to stick around. And I mean, no. Iris, not you. Miriam.
Want me to
Go ahead. Yeah, Iris, you need to unmute your mic. Miriam, mute your mic. There you go. Oh, we are here. We are live. Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow with one another. You can hear us worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. I am your host, Lillian McDermott, and I am so excited that this weekend I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store. We are going to learn and grow. We're going to learn answers to how to heal the body of cancer. It's going to be a it's a mind, body, spirit approach to healing cancer. You can't just look at cancer as a one-dimensional, one-size-fits-all. We're learning about cancer, cannabis, and keto at this conference. Be the 5th or 7th caller or texter. That's the 5th or 7th caller or texter at 407-373-5959. And 2 of you will be winning tickets to this event. This is a $350 value. This is a $358 value. If you can go to this event, you will learn and grow so much. We'll have speakers, doctors are there. They're learning a new truth and encouraging you to learn a new truth as well. Now, we just heard from Miriam. We're going to get Miriam back in a little bit. She is working hard to get with Iris, but right now we have Iris Gillon. Iris Gillon has been for herself. You know, it's amazing. Why do we need to wait till something happens to make us stop and change the place, our destination? But those moments that we think, man, I can't believe this happened to me. It's not to you that it happens for you, so that things can grow from you, that they can move to the direction where you want it to go. So, with no exception, we have Iris Gillon, who, because of her life and what happened to her, started her journey in a ketone lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying, and we're not saying that everybody needs to be on this, but if you have cancer, it is something to look at. And Iris, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're you're at the Best Cancers or the conference, and that you're at your booth right now, looking lovely. So welcome to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
Good morning, Lily. How are you?
I'm fine, and we need to get you a little closer to the mic if that's possible. And so,
Louder?
yep, we're going to have to, your outside voice. We need your outside voice. Okay, so share a little bit about yourself, Iris, and what your journey with cancer.
Well, a couple of years ago, I was really sick and I was not getting any help from my doctor or any other doctor. They just were giving me medications for this and that and the other. And it wasn't just cancer and cutting out body parts. It was a lot of other things as well. It was, my complete digestive system failure. I was gaining weight and my esophagus got so swollen that I couldn't speak and I lost my voice. So that was really horrible because I like to talk a lot. So I was searching on the internet, everywhere, just, all my different symptoms for natural cures and for other things. And over again, I'd find videos by doctors and scientists and anecdotal videos from patients that were solving problems. And I'd find these videos and every one of them was keto, 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 keto. Keto diet did this for me. Keto diet did that for me. And then so I started to try to do this diet, and it was not easy, and it was not foods that I was used to doing, so that was pretty hard. So little by little I was going to different websites, mostly epilepsy websites, because they seem to have the most information about how to do this diet, and I started trying to do it, and it took me almost a year to figure it out because the websites didn't all agree on how to do it. There was the weight loss, there's the epilepsy, there's the cancer. And so, but eventually I figured it out and I started making really cool recipes because I hated just eating bacon and eggs. Mm-hmm. And I ended up starting my own bakery and then meal plans and then bringing other people to share in the cost of the chef to make all my recipes. And now I have a keto store for food for people like myself who are looking to help themselves the way I help myself.
Yeah. And you talk about, now you have this keto store, it's keto-to-go.com. Keto-to-go.com is her business. And it was because the food that you were eating was so bad and you wanted to learn everything you possibly could. But you were very, popular wedding planner, a musician, you're got a degree and you're a singer and all these wonderful things. Your life was complete, really. But then all of a sudden this is happening to you and you discovered this for yourself. Now, what happened to you? Did you also get cancer?
I hate talking about it. I rather talk about how I feel great right now. I also believe I don't like to give words or diagnoses to things because I think it makes it worse or makes you feel bad.
I agree.
have uterine cancer, and they took out my uterus and an ovary, and I didn't want to lose any more body parts, and my father died a terrible death of pancreatic cancer, and I knew I was going to follow his footsteps if I didn't change my life. And I was eating healthy and exercising. I had a really good, healthy, vibrant lifestyle. I have a very busy event planning company in New
Okay.
York City and entertainment, and I was a concert pianist and a composer, and I was living a great life, and I was working a lot of hours and very productive, but I got sick. I got really sick, but it wasn't just one thing. It was a complete system failure. It wasn't just cancer. It was, I had AFib, you know, for my heart. I had the esophageal thing. I had digestive failure. I had chronic migraines. I mean, the list goes on. It just was a lot of problems, and they're all gone. All of
They're all
them.
gone, all gone. And you attribute
Everything.
this, but you didn't just change the food intake. You've changed your lifestyle.
Really not. I semi-retired from entertainment when I started this company, but I also do have another business on the side. But I really, the only major thing I changed, because I exercise, I walk 6 to 8 miles a day with my dog. The only major change that I did, and I don't take any medications because I'm really opposed to it. I don't even drink caffeine. The only major thing that I did, and that I can attribute to this, is going low carb, high fat. And, you know, I literally, I eat a few snacks during the day, and then I have one basic meal a day. And you know, it's mostly the meal that I have is a protein and some vegetables or salads. And then I just snack on my fat bombs and on my ketogenic bakery items. I have keto fat bomb cookies. I have keto vegan meals. I have keto vegetarian meals. I have keto paleo. And so I cover all the bases, but it's really only the ketogenic diet that healed me of so many symptoms. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it reduces your extra fat in your body. It reduces inflammation, so when you also have fibromyalgia or, you know, muscle pains and aches, your inflammation is going down, so your pain is reduced. My gym trainer went on the diet, and she had chronic shoulder pain. When she went on the diet, her shoulder pain just completely went away.
Okay,
I have
so
some, yeah,
I want to go back, and you said you started a bakery, and so when people think
yes.
of keto, you know, you're thinking about bacon and eggs, and you're thinking about those animal products. But you mentioned vegan, and you also mentioned a
Mhm.
bakery. So what do you use as a sugar substitute?
I use monk from China. It's a fruit that doesn't spike your blood sugar. It doesn't turn into glucose. So I use monk fruit to sweeten, and I make flour out of nuts. So we grind up the nuts, we make a flour, and we also use some of our nut-free breads for the kids to take to school, because now in New Jersey where I live, kids can't take nuts into the door. You
Mhm.
can't get in the building if you have any nuts. So I made a nut-free line of bakery products as well, breads and cakes that are amazing. They taste just like junk that you would buy in the store, but there's no sugar, and they're low carb, and some of them are high protein, some of them are moderate protein, depending on the level of the diet that you're on. So I am making a therapeutic level for people who really want very high fat, low carb to be able to really go ketogenic and get into ketosis.
Are you going to have samples there? Because I want to try them.
I have free samples all day long for 2 days. So
Awesome.
I'm
That's worth
super excited.
$358 for the 2 tickets, right? The price of admission. Be the fifth and seventh caller or texter, 407-373-5959, so that you can go to this summit. It's called Answers for Cancer. And it's the theme is cancer, cannabis, and keto. Now, you also, the second thing that I kind of caught in your bio is that you offer a vegan keto. There seems to be a myth out there that if you do keto, it has to be animal products. How did you achieve that?
Well, I am using a lot of vegetables. There's low carb vegetables that you can use. And I found a way to soak them in coconut oil or other fats, like, you know, walnut oil or olive oil. And I soak them, and so they actually become very tasty with spices and oil. And, you know, for the vegetarian versions, I use butter and cheeses. But for the vegan versions, I use coconut oil mostly. And we soak, if you put the right spices in there, tastes just like a really exotic vegetable meal, and it's really wonderful. And I spike the meals with usually sunflower seeds or some other seed to bring in the protein and even keep the fats up.
Are you also gluten-free?
Everything is gluten-free, grain-free, no sugar added. You know, some of my cakes are like 0.26 grams of sugar for a brownie.
Nice, nice. And we're going to
Brownies.
hold that thought, Iris. Hold that thought. We're going to continue our conversation when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. Start your calling, 407-373-5959. Okay. Do we have Miriam? Okay, so you have free samples, and I'm looking forward to this. I know that in my research with ketone, epilepsy, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, weight loss are the main reasons. Have you discovered any other things as you've embraced the keto diet, ketogenic diet?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? There was a distraction here.
Okay, I said epilepsy, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and of course weight loss. Some people that's when people like want to do the weight loss. But as Miriam said, you know, there has to be, you know, you have to get on that borderline. You just can't go full force like when you have cancer. Have you discovered any other reasons to go on a keto diet?
Well, I haven't discovered, but people are discovering me and my company, and they're coming to me to get the food. So I have quite a few ladies that have thyroid disorders, and one has thyroid cancer, and they're doing amazing on the site. One lady came in, she was so sick she could barely stand up, and now a month later, she's just hopping around.
Is all your food organic?
Most of it, not all the ingredients are.
Okay, here we go. We're about to get started. I don't know if you can hear.
Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow together. Today, we're talking about the summit at the Rosen Centre in Orlando. That summit is so invaluable. We're giving away tickets to 2 callers, the 5th or 7th caller or texter, to call 407-373-5959. That's 407-373-5959. Get a group of people together. Get your life back. Learn and grow as friends. That's the best kind of friend, is a friend that can grow with you and learn new things with you. Today, we're giving 4 tickets to 2 people, and that's May 18th, Saturday 19th, May 19th, and the theme is Cancer, Cannabis, and Keto. It's at the Rosen Centre in Orlando. It's called Answers for Cancer Summit. It's the 10th annual Answers for Cancer Summit. I want to encourage you. There's going to be a lot of things going on this weekend. And so I want to encourage you to call 407-373-5959. That's 407-373-5959. So we've got Iris and Miriam. You're both of you are together. And I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Iris?
I can hear you.
And
Are you
we
on?
can hear you better. Thank you so much, Miriam.
Thank God. Thank you, Miriam.
Yes. Okay. So I had mentioned off the air that epilepsy, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, these are all, and of course, weight loss. And we have to be careful with the weight loss. And perhaps maybe Miriam can also add to this when it comes to the weight loss. Is there any warning to people that are doing this as a fad? Is there any warning to anyone who's doing this as a fad, Miriam?
Yes, if you aren't taking in enough food, if you're not eating real food, then you're bound to develop some nutritional deficiencies. So, it's really important to eat real food in this diet and not rely on a lot of the things that are called weight loss for keto products. So,
what about the diet where it's called the bulletproof coffee? Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I encourage all the people that I work with to at least try the bulletproof coffee, because it helps to extend that morning time where you're not eating carbohydrates or protein, and that may be very therapeutic. At the very least, what I see is that people's glucose is lower and their ketones are higher when they have a bulletproof drink in the morning. It doesn't have to be coffee.
Okay, can they do that bulletproof drink without butter?
Yes, they can use ghee, coconut oil, cocoa butter. There's a number of things that can, fats and oils that can be used. MCT oil, brain octane oil, all of those things can, a couple of tablespoons of these fats added to coffee or tea. And it doesn't have to be caffeinated, and it's, it originated as sort of a power drink, but for the people that I work with, it like I said, it helps to extend that fast time. They end up eating their first meal later in the morning or even at noon.
Okay, so Iris, let's go back to you. What is your favorite meal that you have in display this weekend?
Well, we have the keto granola that we've been passing out for breakfast. So everybody get here early and you'll get some keto granola. It's vegan. And we serve it with almond milk. It's just nuts and seeds and some spices, and we soak it in coconut oil to raise the fat levels. We have brownies. We have ice cream. We have pizza. Oh, that's everybody's favorite. We're serving keto pizza, and I have two kinds of keto pizza. I have the nut-free crust, and I also have nut-based crust, which is made on keto loaf.
Now, are you selling these foods at the conference, or are you just placing orders?
On the last day, we'll sell anything that's left over, but right now, we're also placing orders, but right now we're giving away everything for free.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. So we'll be able to get to eat all the food that you have and we can sample it. Now, when it comes to your food, because you said not all of it is organic, but when it comes to your food, what was the key for you when creating this? Because you had said that you had tried other foods and they were horrible. What makes yours better tasting?
Well, most of the people who are, go on a fad diet for keto, they get these huge chunks of meat and like a little vegetable side, and they're eating like bacon all day, or they're eating like a dozen eggs, or they're just eating all this protein, and I don't feel good on that. And I've been advised by Miriam and others that that's not a really good way to go.
Okay.
And I also really believe in a plant-based diet. So I'm using the nuts and seeds as most of my protein base, but I do eat some fish. But I like bakery things, and I was a really big sugar addict. So getting off the sugar and off the bread and off the cakes, off the ice cream was really hard for me. So I made substitutes for everything, and it's the substitutes that make it easier for me to stick to this diet. So I can eat pizza. I can eat bread substitutes. I have tons of different cake options and ice cream options and fat bombs that are like chocolate candy, and we're now making chocolate. So that's really exciting. I have keto chocolate.
Okay, let's add Miriam to this because that's an important question. Some people think that eating a ketone diet is all bacon and eggs. So let's address the fact that the importance of vegetables and berries.
I work with a wide range of people, and on one end are people who are trying to stay close to vegan for ethical reasons. And so ethical vegans, I'll work with that. On the other end of the spectrum are people who really just want to eat just meat and fat. And again, I'll try to work with that, but either extreme makes the diet more challenging than moving somewhere towards the middle on that.
And what does the middle look like?
The middle looks like a piece of fish or a piece of high quality grass-fed beef, a portion of vegetables, a reasonable portion of vegetables, a side salad with a nice dressing on it, and for some people, some other way to add fat to the meal. And one easy way to do it is to just, instead of making the meal greasy, just add the fat bombs as part of the meal. So it increases the proportion of fat in that meal, but in a pleasant way, kind of a dessert treat kind of way. And that makes a good transition for a lot of people. I eventually want to see people like really tone down that sweet thermostat, but especially in the beginning, we need to use what we can to get people into ketosis and as quickly as we can, and but while avoiding all the pitfalls of that transition.
Okay. And again, I'd like to say when the body is not healthy, this is the best time to put your body in the ketosis.
Right, and managing that transition well, so that you're taking in enough fluids and enough of the electrolytes during the transition, so that it really reduces that that whole thing that people are so fearful of, called the keto flu. You can manage that before you go into it with, like you said, just proper planning ahead of time.
Very good. Well, I want to thank you both for being part of this broadcast today. Miriam, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you, as well as Iris. I'm looking forward to trying your food. So thank you very much for being a part of the show today.
All right, thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. And to you, for those of you, my listening friends, it is so important that we take our life back.
I have no idea what happened.
Oh, now you need to mute your mic. Go ahead, mute your mic. There you go. Mute your mic. And so here we go. 407-373-5959. That's 407-373-5959. The fifth caller or texter. You want to be a part of this growth. It's in the Rosen Centre. So whether you're in Jacksonville or you are in South Florida or anywhere around the world, it's just a very simple, just a simple drive. If you're in Florida, it's a simple drive to go there. It's at the Rosen Centre. The theme is cancer, cannabis, keto. And it's Friday, May 18th, Saturday, May 19th, from 9 to 6 p.m. There'll be lots of speakers. There'll be lots of vendors to share the latest in technology and what is out there. And you know what? What do you have to lose? It's about learning and growing. Take what resonates with you and dismiss what doesn't. You're in choice. And that's what I would always say to you, is you're always in choice. The number is 407-373-5959. Let's discover a new truth, attend the summit, and take your life back. May 18th, May 19th at 407-373-5959. We're giving away these tickets, $358 value. And please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. I just want to say thank you. I love your stories. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm going to try to get there today, sometime today. So you're both going to be running around today?
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll be here all day. I'll be in the exhibit hall.
I have an hour long, 1:45 to 2:45 is my presentation, so I'll be losing the front end of that too as I prepare.
Very good. Well, I will probably be there later after 3. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your story. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us know when it's up, and then we can put it on
so
our
we
website.
can put a link. That'd be great.
It'll be up later on today. Okay? See ya. And to you, my viewers, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you at Answers for Cancer
Might be
this
losing
weekend in Orlando.